waterfalls today, whether it's a rock waterfall or even a fountain. A lot of what we do is mirror the look of maybe the house with materials to build the fountain for water effect. In this particular case, we used a slab stone, it's called Montana stone, and just used it to create a fairly small waterfall, not too substantial, which you can see behind us, behind me here. And then we also did a hand-carved concrete turtle, just again as a jump rock, as a platform for the kids to play on. So with that, natural stone is a different animal. It's a different, you gotta work differently. This we have to pre-plan a lot of it.
On one day I was here and they were pouring the footings for the pool, and I really decided we should also do the waterfall. I asked Mark if it was too late to do it, and of course they were very accommodating, and absolutely we went with the waterfall.
When we're building a waterfall, especially out of natural stone, we have to think way ahead of time as to how it's going to lay out, because we need to contain the water. When we do the carved waterfalls that we do, we can kind of form the water as we go, and we really don't need to have a good plan on the front side. But when you're doing a natural waterfall, a natural stone, you have to have a good plan ahead of time. You have to have a good base, good strong base, and then hand select the stones so that as you're putting them together, you can get a sense of the water flow, and yet at the same time containing the water.
I would love, unfortunately it wastes this stone.
Well, yeah, I think
and then we can put that one underneath.
I think that texture is really good too.
But if nothing else, this isn't a bad base.
Let's start to get the lower level in.
Yeah.
So this will be our main fall rock then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that's going to go over.
I wonder then if we try to center it and then do something
Build around
on each
end.
Because we're going to want to somehow build the stone up around it so that water's not coming sideways.
Right.
All right, I'll get that pallet of stuff moved over there.
Okay.
What we've seen in the past when somebody tries to put a waterfall on a vinyl pool is they just set the rock on top above water level. Well, a waterfall looks much more natural if the rock comes down into the water. So in this particular case, what we had to do was this lower set of stones, to get it to hang down into the water, we had to cut the stone into an L shape. So this is just a veneer, but this is this thick that goes back on top of the wall. This is hanging down the face of our true tile system. And the true tile allows us to use ceramic tile on a vinyl liner pool. So our water level's up here, but our liner attaches down here, below water. So allow, again, water level being here, the rock disappears into the water, which makes it look, I think, 100% more natural than just sitting right on top of the pool. Process of building a waterfall here, and when you're using natural stone, you get different pieces. They're all different shapes, and you have to see it in your head first. Take a piece of stone, how's it going to fit, where's it going to fit, and in this particular case, this will be our piece for the main sheer waterfall as the water falls off into the pool. So we need to make sure at this moment that we get it in the exact right position. Yeah, you know. very last stage and step in completing the waterfall is to be able to run the plumbing. So we've got the plumbing stubbed up here, coming from the equipment pad up to here. Now we have to divert it to flow properly. And basically what I'll do, it's instead of just trying to push water in one direction, which doesn't look real natural, we'll spread it out. So we'll have two separate locations that the water will come out in the waterfall, and that way it'll come out slower and flatter, and it'll look a little bit more natural. So based on plumbing, we can control, by putting valves in here, we'll be able to control the amount of flow one direction versus another. A lot of mistakes the guys make is they put one valve and it's either on and off, or they don't valve it at all, and then you have no control of the water. So I'll have two separate valves controlling two water lines, all feeding from the same place, but allowing me to slow down one direction and maybe speed up the other direction, giving us more of an opportunity to dance the water exactly like we want it to. Started with here was way low, down underwater level. We have a layer of stone, but as we set the stone, we have to think about, okay, what are we doing with the water? Where is it going? How are we going to make it flow? Because with natural stone, you kind of have one shot. It's not like you can break it out and redo it again. You have to be really careful in terms of expecting the water to go in certain directions, and it doesn't always do that, and we have to do some modifications. But the idea here was, how can we make a fairly simple waterfall, not too tall, but be able to spread out the water enough? And I think with what we did, it turned out pretty well.